Hey friends, Brian here. It's the 8th of October 2017. We're in the midst of another man-made hurricane. Well, if not man-made, man-directed at least, at the very least. You know, it's funny how in the Gulf these hurricanes just started popping up. You know, down there, and then they're instantly on us. We'll go over a few things, so I might be a little scatterbrained. You'll have to forgive me, but I want to hit on a few key points. We're doing good here so far. The tree has not fallen, although it's uprooted pretty good, that I was talking about earlier. We'll have to see. I was worried about that being a major issue. Last night when I came outside, I look up and you've got the winds blowing just 90 to nothing, and trees going back and forth, and you look up and I saw these black triangular clouds hovering and standing still just over the house in a big cluster. It was a bunch of them, another odd, and then you see this smoke coming in, almost like it's smoke. It's not fog or anything else, and it just hovers, stands still. And then my ears popped. You know that pop you get when you go up into an aircraft up high. It just happened all of a sudden, and so I began to worry about tornadic activity. I instantly threw up a barrier, a barrier in my mind that wasn't oval shape. It was just a big fat geometric shape. I didn't just throw it up over my house. I threw it up over the whole world. And instantly these things started to disappear. And they just vanished. I can't explain that, and I know how that sounds. I don't want to explain it. I think everybody needs to do their own research and their own soul searching about anything like that. I also think it's amazing how this has brought people together in an amazing way, how we're there for each other. I'm so grateful for everybody's prayers and everybody's great energy that they've sent my way. We've weathered this really well. We're still in the midst of it, but it's really it's not much. It's just a storm, another storm. But the smells of it, it just doesn't. There's not that rain smell you get when you were a kid. It's not a good smell. It's almost like a smoky smell, like something's. It's just not right. It just doesn't feel right at all. So another thing, and I don't encounter it much because I don't really put up with anything. I don't even acknowledge it, is the trolls that come around and say, "Oh, you are so full of it, it's not even funny," or the people that call you crazy or anything else. I don't bother with that stuff. I don't even, just block it out. What I do is I mentally box it up and put them in a box. Mike 5D Mike brought this to my attention. It's great. He says, instead of, I believe it was Mike said this. He says, because I've talked to so many, instead of just shielding yourself from it or telling them to go away, you box them up, you bind them up. You bind those entities up, and they can't do anything, not only to you, but they can't do anything to anybody else. As far as like people like Daz, the cameraman, who I see as an outright ass panda. This guy's scared. He's also Masonic, and he's getting paid to do what he's doing, and he's paying to lie. Dude's messing with his own soul, for whatever reason. I'm sure he's getting a big fat check and a lie saying, "We'll take care of you when the shit hits the fan." It's not. Guys, we're saved. We're covered under a blanket of love. Understand? And that's a hard thing. And not only, here's the thing, even though I call him an ass panda, I love the guy. I understand that he's suffering with fear. He's suffering with all these other things. Don't worry about it. don't worry about the people that are trolling you and causing frustration in your life. Don't worry. Look how dead my tree is. Look how dead this thing is from these chemicals that they spray on it. It has no life. It's getting uprooted. Anyway, I digress. I always want to say that. You guys are awesome. Worry is a waste. Worrying about things is a waste of good, which I want to say time, but I've quit thinking in terms of linear time. I just don't see it that way, and I start to live in the moment. Guys, don't worry about anything. We are saved. We all chose to be here at this time to experience this amazing event that's happening, and it's truly, I would say, a spiritual upgrade. It's also it's otherworldly. It's as if our planet is. I believe our planet is moving into the fifth dimension, and we are along for the ride. And we're going to see different things. I think we're moving into this dimension, and it's not that the beings that I've been speaking of are going to be coming to us. It's that we're going to them. I believe that within my heart. I also still believe, for people that question, when I talk about different dimensions and all that stuff, this doesn't erase God. It doesn't erase a source, a higher power. It doesn't erase any of that. God is real. It's a real thing. It's a thought. I've always believed in my heart that, that higher thing that people believed in, whether it be Buddha or, God, or it's always looking towards this higher thing. And I could never, ever distinguish between the different names that people gave God or Source or Buddha or any wise. To me, it's all one. I asked the question once, what was the true religion? I kind of threw that question out into the world or into spirit world, and what I got back was, you take all the good parts of the many religions, and that's the universal truth. That's the universal love. It's a oneness. It's like one. It's like, when have you ever meditated and you start your meditation, and then you notice the small parts, instead of just focusing on this thing where you say, oh, I've got to calm down or raise my frequency, and you worry about that. You just focus on you. You first focus on your breathing. Then you listen to your heart from within, and then you become one with the universe. And then you pray. You listen. You hear better. You listen to the water. You listen to whatever it is that gets you going. And guys, I found joy, and I found a ton of peace in this truth, where in the beginning I was like, we all had that, we had that moment. We had that WTF moment when we went, what the hell's going on? I worried for a little bit, and then, I'd have people that really weren't concerned with anything. And it wasn't because they weren't concerned. It was that maybe fear was keeping them from understanding the truth, or understanding that, yes, the moon is like twice the size it should be, and they can't notice it. And they'd say, well, why does it concern you? And, the obvious answer would be, my children. I don't want anything to happen to them. It would be the first answer. But I understand that we all chose to be here at this time. All of us to experience it. And it's like a winning lottery ticket. Regardless of what happens, how it's happening, this planet, us as a race, or not even us as a race, all the other races, all the ETs, everybody, we're all related, and it's all combined, and it's all one. And it all works surrounding love. And that's why at the end of the day, I know that this will pass. It talks about the end of days, and maybe it's not the end times, maybe it's not the end times, the death, the end, the final. Maybe it's the end of times that are bad. And maybe we're moving into a new place in the world. This is exciting for me. It's exciting that we get to go through it, regardless of how people react to you. This is amazing. Don't worry about those trolls. Don't worry about people getting you all worked up and messed up. Man, you guys are strength, power, and love, and that is, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Man, I hope I'm not covering a microphone up with my fat hand. Don't worry. Project love out. Project goodness out. And don't even have thoughts of no good deed goes unpunished. I can't tell you how many times I've done something kind for somebody and had it come back and be like, what are you doing that for? Why are you acting that way? I've told people I love them before, just off the cuff, and I have gotten the look of disgust. What's wrong with you? Are you a pervert? What's wrong? What do you mean you love me? But if people don't react well to it, it's because they're pre-programmed. We are biological computers. And when you program a computer, it does what you want. The same thing can happen to us. Guys, just love everybody. Love everything. Love it to death. Give it your whole heart. And open your eyes and try and see this amazing thing that's happening to us for what it is. One, yes, I think there's a planetary system right there. All the signs on the planet scream that it is. The planet is just breathing this other entity in, and it's quite the thing. Yes, the moon is twice the size that it's ever been. In my 46 years, 45 years, 46 here in a few days, on the 11th of October, isn't that funny? No, it's not right. Look up. Y'all just take more than 3 seconds to look up. Or to say there's something wrong with that person who sees what's happening. Just take some time and give it your heart. What do you have to lose, besides understanding the truth? And don't let fear get in between you and what's really happening in the world. And again, just love. Guys, peace. I'll catch you on the flip side. We're doing good here so far. Let me give you a better look. We're weathering it very well. We haven't had any flooding, so we're safe, we're happy, and we're good to go. I will post something up later on just, to kind of recap. Guys, thank you for your love and your prayers. You're awesome, and your strength and your power. You're awesome. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.